This game actually scratched my itch that was left void by Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2. But it did it in a little bit of a different way, which made me feel a little better, even though I still miss Left 4 Dead 2. And in this video, we're going to be reviewing Warhammer Vermintide 2, and whether it is worth it to buy right now, or whether you should just skip it and move on. So, let's discuss that. And as always, with every single one of my videos, if you know what this game is, you probably are interested in an answer right away. And yep, I'm gonna give it to you right now. And the answer is yes, Warhammer Vermintide 2 is absolutely worth it. It is a very fun game, especially if you're gonna play it online with your friends. However, even if you're gonna play it solo, you're gonna still find a lot of fun in this game. And I know that you are interested whether this game is fun in solo or not. So yeah, it is fun. Even though game can be difficult at times, it has very good learning curve, allowing to anyone play this game and enjoy it. And if you are the one who is seeking challenge as well, you will also find it here. But of course it's not perfect. And of course it has its downfalls. So let's discuss that. So first things first, for the ones who are new and who has no idea what Vermintide 2 is. So Vermintide 2 is a sequel to Warhammer Vermintide, and this is the game happening in Warhammer Fantasy universe. Don't confuse it with Warhammer 40k universe, which takes place in the far future. Warhammer Fantasy universe is, well, kind of like a fantasy branch of the Warhammer universe. And technically it takes place in the same universe as in Warhammer Total War games. You're playing as one of the few pre-made characters, and you're playing in first person, and you're thrown in levels where you need to complete certain objectives. Like kill certain enemies, or certain bosses, or protect certain points, or just do very, very simple objectives. And as you do it, you are attacked by hordes and hordes of enemies, which usually are Skaven, which are kind of like rat people. That's why it's called Vermintide. You're playing against, well, vermin, which in this case are rat people. The game is online and in multiplayer, and when you go into the missions, you will be grouped with 3 other players. So in total, 4 players are going through these missions. And if there are no other players, you will be grouped with an AI. Each hero is a certain class. Like you can have a warrior class, or archer class, or mage class. Well, they are not called that way, but they're technically that characters. And each character are equipping with 2 main weapons. They're your, well, main weapon and your melee weapon. And each weapon has their own 2 distinct attacks, your light attack and your heavy attack. And each class also have their own abilities that are charged by, well, attacking and fighting the enemies. The classes can also have certain mechanics, like for example, mage class, if you will use your fire spells very often, you're gonna fill up the special meter, and if this meter will go to the max, you will explode, destroying everything around you, including yourself. And to be fair, this all sounds like a lot of mechanics, but in reality, it's fairly simple. You will understand all the mechanics even immediately after you're gonna complete the tutorial level. You access all the missions through the special hub, your fortress, where you can choose different missions or just join the random games. You also gain access there to your storefront, to your crafting system, and your inventory. Game has pretty extensive, even though quite simple crafting system that allows you to craft different weapons to use with the special classes, and also different equipment as well. But the main question is this: how fun is it to play this game? And let me tell you, it's very, very fun. Depending on the difficulty levels and the composition of your party, the games can be incredibly easy or quite difficult. The regular enemies are pretty easy to kill, but when they swarm you from all the sides, it becomes quite a challenge, so your positioning and your movement takes quite a high importance in the game. And also the positioning of your allies as well. Because of very limited healing capabilities that you can actually get from different potions and medkits, you have to control not just your attacks and enemies around you, but also your health. And with some classes, also other aspects as well, like the fire meter for the pyromancer class. You also need to be very careful of how you choose your talents as well, because yeah, this is technically an RPG, and you also control your talents, and different talents can give you completely different playstyles even within the same class. And there are also bosses which are very fun to fight against, and very difficult if you're gonna fight against them alone. But is it all sunshine and rainbows? Well, kinda not. You see, absolute majority of the missions and levels are very, very similar. You're doing same things over and over again, killing enemies, killing bosses, completing objectives, moving on to the next objective, killing enemies, killing bosses, and it's the same thing over and over and over again. Did I find it boring? Well, to be fair, not, but I know that some of you will find it boring. Also, there are not a lot of customizations in the game, especially free customizations, and that's where the cash shop gets into play. The game has quite a lot of DLCs, and well, as far as I know, not all of them are actually that great, but some are. But this review is for the base game only, so I'm gonna discuss the base stuff. Another thing is, of course, the character customization. You have quite extensive customization, not quite extensive. You have character customization, but 95% of it is hidden behind a paywall. Basically, you need to buy different skins for your characters. And to be fair, they are not even that numerous and they're not even that different from the base character. Will I count this as a downside? Well, maybe, but to be fair, I have to be really honest with you. I was never compelled to buy anything from the store, and well, that's actually a very good thing, because if you want to look different, you can buy skins, but if you don't care about this, well, you will not spend a single cent on it. So the decision to buy something is purely up to you, and you're not forced or compelled to buy anything. So yeah, kudos to that. But how much this will cost you? Is it actually worth to pay money for this game? So let's discuss that. So game is available on Steam for the base price of $29.99 for tier 1 countries and $17.99 for tier 2 countries. And it can go as low as $0 for both tier 1 and tier 2 countries. But if you're gonna find it on discount, the lowest was $5.99 for tier 1 countries and $3.59 for tier 2 countries. And that $0 is how I got into the game. I've always wanted to buy this game, but I never got to it. And when Steam was actually giving away this game for free, I simply jumped into a bandwagon. And I did not regret, because yeah, I got this game for free. And game is pretty alive and well as well. Game always has around 3,000 to 10,000 players online constantly, so you will always find someone to play with. So is this game worth it for any of those prices? Well, let me tell you, for free it was billion% worth it. It was an insanely good value. Great game for free. Yep, sign me up any day of the week. But what about other prices? Well, I would not buy this game for full price, to be fair, but anything below 50% off, especially if it's below $10, yes, it's absolutely worth it. Game is fun, game is fast, game looks pretty good. It has quite extensive customization of the gameplay itself, not as deep and extensive customization of your characters. It can be a little bit repetitive, but if you don't mind that, it is an absolute must-buy game. And again, especially if you're gonna play this with your friends. Because yeah, with friends, even watching the paint dry becomes 100 times more interesting. And especially if the game is already fun. So yeah, I would recommend you to buy this game. Well, I guess this will be it for today. Thank you for being here with me. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe for more videos like this one, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. See ya.